If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's me, CarQuicks. I'm kind of squatting down because I don't got a chair. But I'm doing a 50,000 mile update. Now, if you know, let me get out the way of the frame. That car right there is a GR Corolla. 2023 Core Edition with modifications. But I've had this car for 50,000 miles. And the reason I'm doing this update is to just let y'all know from previous times. If you remember, I did 2,000, 9,000, 15,000, 30,000. If you notice all these videos, that's kind of just my trajectory of being an owner of this car and what I've experienced during that time. But one of the big things, this is a milestone. I don't have any commemorative cakes or any cookies to give myself. Maybe I'll go buy some after the video. 50,000 miles. Now the question is, how has it been? What are the problems? For any potential owner, for anybody looking at a GR Corolla, 2025 owners, 24, 23, it don't matter. Whatever year you're looking at, this is all the same. Same motor, G16E GTS, same drivetrain, all-wheel drive, same brakes if you got the performance pack. Now all the cars come with the performance pack, but it's all the same. And honestly, what I'm here to do is to tell you what it's like 50,000 miles later. And if you want the TLDR, it's been great. Now let me get into the details. Now, I had to put on a GR hat to commemorate this day, even though you probably seen my videos and I've been rocking this hat. I like it. Don't mind the dust that is over the, I wasn't about to clean this car for this, okay? Because I want to keep it real. Like, I drive the car and it sits outside sometimes. Sometimes it can be garage, sometimes it can't, you know, just those things. What I'm saying is, let's talk about the exterior, okay? I've changed the hood on mine. That's a Circuit Edition hood in black. I'm gonna say something. The hood alone with the dirt and dust, I can't even fathom the whole car being black. I mean, that's wild. Anyways, the exterior. Change the hood, little mods and stuff like that. You already know about that. How has it held up during this time? Let's take a walk. Okay, so here's the exterior. Now, everything on this car, as you know, so I put PPF on the front bumper as if you're new to this video. Around like say 2,000 miles or something like that, I put PPF on the front. It's on the headlights, it's on the mirror caps. That's it. I never had it on the hood. I don't have it on this hood now. I didn't have it on the roof. I didn't have it on the side. I didn't have it anywhere else. Like if you see on the side right there, didn't have it on the side, didn't have it on the side skirts. So the only thing that has been protected with PPF is literally really just the front bumper and the headlights. So let me show you what that looks like now, 50,000 miles later. Everything else on the car, if I'm looking at the overall paint quality, 50,000 miles later, I can't complain. Like, I don't have big gashes. I got a B over there that wants to check out the GR, but there's no big gashes on here. There's no wild rock chips. Everything is held up. If there is a chip, like right here, there is one, I do know. And that was for me loading something in the car. Little scratch right there. There goes a little something. You know what? Everything ain't perfect. Looks good from a distance, but everything ain't perfect. There's a few little nicks and things here and there, and nothing major. No gashes, no big scratches or anything like that. You just noticing all the dirt on the car right now, really. But everything else, as far as the car goes, has been great. Exterior has held up well. I'll be honest, some of my other videos, I said, listen, the Toyota paint, like you gotta take that with, you know, some expectations. You know, you can't just expect it to be paint to sample Porsche, you know, paint. But later on in those videos at like the 30,000 mile update, I said, you know what, I gotta take some of that back because it's held up. And now 20,000 miles later, after my initial video I did on this update, the paint is still in the same condition. And I drive. I've gone from Texas to the East Coast and back, okay? I haven't just been babying the car. I drive on I-10 all day long, okay? So if you know anything about I-10 and the trucks and tires and rocks and pallets and couches that can be flying over there, then you know that I've been really in the streets, okay? So exterior, let's talk about some of the modifications and how they've held up. So the hood is new. So that's fine. Of course that's gonna hold up because I just put it on the car. The front lip is from Aeroflow Dynamics and it didn't hold up. Now this is my fault because if you notice this little electrical tape there, you couldn't even tell that this part right here is like just completely gashed out. You see right there? But the electrical tape hides it, so I just keep it on there. I was a little too zealous in the entrance with the kids. We were going to get a Little Caesars pizza. I came at an angle that wasn't angling enough. And so listen, the aeroflow hit the curb a little too hard and it just shattered in that little piece there. No knock to aeroflow. I still love how that lip looks. I would suggest you go grab yourself one. You want something simple and clean. And I heard from a guy I follow on Instagram that they're working on a version that's even stronger. I don't know when it's coming out. I just know I saw somebody talking about it. This has been an ongoing problem. I haven't fixed it. I haven't addressed it. I'm not the only one. Okay. So when I'm talking about, just so you know, I'm talking about the grill. The grill clips are broken on my grill. You can't really tell from here, but I'm gonna show you what it looks like if you really get down and start paying attention. So if I get down this low and you look kind of around that curve, you can kind of see where the grill is kind of basically sinking down. I know it's ugly. What can I say? If you get a little closer, then you can see it. The grill tabs are cooked, okay? Now, I will say this. The dealership that I go to, they did do me well when it came to getting another grill, okay? It wasn't like they just ignored me. The problem is I put that front lip on and then I went on a road trip to the East Coast, and whatever downforce is creating, whatever air pockets is pushing down on that front lip, snapped them grill tabs. And that was a brand new grill back in August when I went to drive over there. So unfortunately, my own modification is what lent itself to breaking the grill. Now, here's what I will say. There are people like Jim's Garage Toys. He made a video showing him correcting the issue with the grills and putting the like double-sided tape and self-tappers. Excellent video. I'll link, I'll throw up a picture of it right here. Go check out his video because I'm gonna follow his same steps, because eventually I'm just gonna go ahead and fix this. Now, I may actually, going against my usual talk, I may actually change this to a gloss grill. I know that goes against everything I said previously. I know many times before I would talk about only wanting matte black. You know, things change, okay? Things change. And if you notice in the update, some things haven't really changed other than the hood. I haven't gotten wheels yet. I don't have, because I can't make up my mind, and wheels are expensive and life and other responsibilities. But I have been modifying it, so we'll get to that kind of towards the end. So the exterior has been holding itself up. There are no problems. I can't complain about it. We're 50,000 miles in. If you don't drive your car as much as me and you got bigger rock chips, well, mine's PPF, so let me just say that. But if you drive yours less than mine and the back and side and the roof is jacked up, and I don't know what to tell you. Some people live in areas like on the Midwest or the East Coast or somewhere where there's just more road debris, salt, trucks, all that. I'm just saying, if you're thinking about getting this car, if you're worried about the longevity of the outside exterior, and this is from somebody who's been messing and fiddling with it and adding lips and grills and all this stuff, you're good to go. Let's talk about the interior though. The interior has, I mean, like I said, the car's dirty, okay? So don't say nothing. The interior has held up exactly like I expected, okay? You already know the core interior, what it's like, okay? Hard plastic up there. It's not soft touch like the circuit editions. But if I get inside and we just look at the overall dash and everything, all of that, mind the sun blinding everybody right now, but the dashboard, the steering wheel, I clean this all the time, so it looks decent and cool and not corroded because I wash my hands. And I also make sure to clean the interior of this car regularly. It's just dirty right now. But everything else, the screen, the shifter, even though I got this one from Symbiosis, that custom one I've talked about in my video, check the links for that. And the center console and the dashboard and the door cards and the seat have all been good, okay? Now, I did add a couple changes to mine. So I did talk about a video where I added like a PPF color thing to reduce the gloss black on the car. I personally, my opinion, it didn't meet my expectations. It's not a knock to the company. They make what they make. I just didn't like what it was, and I could kind of show it to you. I will say this, while I may not like it completely, it has held up, and that's just like matte film you kind of see on there. I'm critiquing it from a nitpicking standpoint where I can kind of still see the edges of gloss black in different areas. Like if I go down to the center console down here, You maybe can't tell in the video, but if you look very closely around these edges, I still can see the gloss black. The sticker kind of pulls up on certain parts. It just wasn't to my expectations. However, as far as the film protecting the gloss black and withstanding everyday use, it has done its job there. So no knock to the quality of the film. I just want the coverage to just be a little bit better. And that's just me in my opinion. But everything else interior wise has held up strong. I've changed a couple things. If you don't know, if you haven't seen my videos, like this isn't a standard rear view mirror. That's a Wolfbox G900 Pro, basically a rear view camera, front facing camera. I'll show you the video on that as well. It'll be in the link for all the mods I've done on that. But there is one thing that has happened. If you see right here, look at this, see that? I don't know how this happened, but it happened, okay? So 50,000 miles later, somebody jumped in my car, some snagged this, and I just got this thread hanging out. No, I haven't cut it off. Honestly, there really is no bad. This is a basic interior. If you wanted something that's more flashy, more suede, you got to go get a circuit edition. You already know that. Or you got to get a premium edition or a premium plus. I don't think it adds any more to the interior outside of the premium. But if you want some more, you know what model to go get. Don't get a Core, then start crying a river that there isn't soft touches on the door panels. You already knew what we were getting ourselves into. I did add a couple things to the door panel before. If you don't know from my previous videos, I have the Tom's little door skin parts here. Honestly, I did that to help the scuffs that can kind of happen on the door. You can kind of see one on the panel right now too. I probably can clean that up a little bit, but that really, I did that for a protective piece. It is kind of aesthetic. It does look clean. I do like how it looks. I had a video on that one as well. So that's been holding up fine. And that's been on the car for, man, probably like 20,000 miles too. And I've had kids in the car, my wife, they've gotten out and they have been damaged and scuffed up door panels and stuff like that. I can even show you in the back seat. If you have a family and you're wondering, can I put my kids in this car and it can like withstand their daily kid use? It can. This whole back seat has been held down properly. So overall, the same quality as the front right here. No qualms, no issues. I haven't wanted for anything. It hasn't felt like it's falling apart. I haven't had a bunch of rattles and squeaks. I have heard some stories of people saying that their GR Corolla is squeaking, is rattling. Honestly, I'm just gonna say your mileage may vary. Trunk area, I mean, I know that's not really something that people that are worried about buying this car are like, what's the trunk look like after 50,000 miles? The same. I've thrown stuff back there. You see little scuffs and dirt on the rubber mat there. The little tonneau cover is held up all this time. I have my little reverse camera back there from Wolfbox. Like I said, you can check the link in the description for that video. There's been a few scuffs because I've carried some stuff back here on the plastic right here. And I know there's something that you can do to kind of correct this or clean it up a little bit more. There goes an ugly part if you want to know what it looks like after you've been hauling stuff in here. But I put a bunch of stuff in this car. So little parts right here, little scuffs there on the plastic right there, right there. Oh, you can't really see, hold on. Kind of little scuffs right here as well too. Nothing major. Now the wing has been on there for, like probably over 10,000 miles. Actually, yeah, very much so, over 10,000 miles. And the wing, the reason I want to talk about the wing right there is because I threw that on, not necessarily the way most people do. As you know, if you put a circuit edition wing on a core model, the circle ones have holes in the center that they drill in to screw them in. The only thing I did was the side pieces right here, those have screws that go into the hatch from the standard stock little pieces that come off there. All I did was throw double-sided tape on the top. Like obviously strong double-sided tape. And that's been on there running and driving on the freeways, on the highways, hasn't budged, hasn't moved. So if you're wondering, I want to put a circuit edition wing on my car, but I don't want to drill inside the back of the hatch like I didn't want to do. You don't got to do it. Just throw double-sided tape on it. You'll be good to go. The 50,000 miles of this car, the interior has, I'll say flawless. I know that word can kind of get thrown out when people see like little seat thread. Like, it wasn't flawless. I say flawless because I haven't had major issues. So there's no major issue on the interior. There's no major issue on the exterior. And if you wanted to know if it can handle 50,000 miles, yes. If you want a 2025, if you have a 2024, if you're looking at a used one with 30,000 miles, as long as somebody took care of their car, it'll hold up. Now, I'm not talking about folks that disrespect cars and don't take care of their stuff. I can't account for that. All I can account for is somebody that has some care, some pride in what is theirs. You take care of it, it'll take care of you. But let's talk about the biggest thing that this is really why I'm doing this video. Let's talk about the motor, okay? Let's go pop the hood real quick, get y'all set up. Let's talk about 50,000 miles of reliability. Is the Toyota name holding up? Is the Toyota badge kind of floundering a bit? If I want to talk about the main thing with this car, it's going to be this motor, because that is what everybody wants to know when they're thinking about 50,000 miles. I'm sure interior, exterior is kind of part of the course. You take care of your car, it's going to take care of you. Same way that I've said many of times, the motor is same thing applies. This has given me zero problems, zero, not a hiccup, not a glitch. Now I'm talking about as the motor is now in its modified state. Now, if you're completely stock, then add another layer of reliability and nothing going wrong too, because obviously when you modify a car, when you modify motors, there is some inherent risk that you place on it, because you're upping the boost, you're upping the pressure, you're upping the performance, the power, all those things. If you kept your motor completely stock and didn't touch anything outside of, let's say you put an intake on or maybe just put an exhaust on, then what I'm saying, almost 2x it, right? As far as like how much will not go wrong. But let's just talk about from my state. I like modifying cars. Many people that are into these cars, they want to do the exact same thing too. So it's no surprise if somebody's like, what's it like modified? Let me just tell you what I've done. I'll give you the list. Intake from MST, downpipe, mid-pipe, turbo inlet, charge pipes, intercooler. The intercooler is very important because these motors do run hot, just because the nature of them being high boost, high RPMs, you know, high horsepower for a 1.6 liter 3-cylinder. So they perform very well. And even with those modifications, never once have I had an issue with this engine doing something wrong, giving me a problem. Obviously, I've done videos about the catastrophe some owners have had with these motors, and there's a lot of false information out there about them. So if you're a new owner and you're seeing that pop up, just do your research. I'm not going to use this video to kind of talk about all the things that were variables inside of some of those situations, but you got to do your research. But I'll tell you, from somebody that owns a car, that drives it all the time, those problems do not come from my group of friends. I know people online that I talk to that race it, that track it. This car has seen some days on tracks. It has been on the back roads. I drive it hard. I drive it as it's intended, but I take care of it. Now, one of the other big things that you're going to hear about too is oil changes. I'll say this. This is probably one of those cars where you want to pay attention to the oil you're using. Now, I'm not using this video to have the debate about if you should stick with 0W20 or should you go to 5W30 or 0W30. I run 0W30. I've ran 0W20. I might move it up to a different level again. I don't know yet. I just know that in my climate, it's 105 degrees today. It matters. And if I'm driving the car hard, a minute ago, it got up to 225 degrees on the oil temps. So where we live, it becomes a concern, even down to getting an oil cooler eventually. So those type of things do matter. And what I'm saying that for is take care of it, read your application. I have modifications on the car, so it performs different. So some of those changes need to happen. If you're stock and completely OEM, then yeah, 0W20 is perfectly fine. But just do your oil changes. Don't wait no 10,000 miles. Do your oil analysis if you want to know how far you can stretch it or how the engine's performing, and it'll treat you well. So 50,000 miles on a G16E GTS 3-cylinder turbo with modifications, no problems. Full reliability. There are times when people have a few thoughts about this, saying it's too high strung, it's too much boost, it can't last. Well, coming from me, from somebody that's driven it for this many miles, I'm gonna tell you that yes, it can last, and as long as you take care of it, it's gonna be perfectly fine. Now, there are variables, right? There are machines, there are motors, things can go wrong. Don't just take what I'm saying as absolute 100%. It's never gonna have a problem. They are machines, they're cars, things can go wrong. There are some people that have had issues from stock ones that they take it to the dealership to get addressed, and just so on and so forth. I don't want you to come here with some naivete to how cars run and how engines run. But if you're from somebody that drives it, you're good to go. Now, even with the modifications, like I said, just to reiterate, if you don't do any modifications, this can go 100,000 miles with my modifications. I have no worries about it going longer than that. And if you're stocking, go even longer. I mean, the reliability that you know from Toyota is present inside of this motor, even though it is a performance related motor, even though it does run hard. And there are plenty of people that have put near 50,000 or 30,000 of track miles of riding it hard. I drive it as it's intended. It's not track racing, but I mean, that's another level of using the car and how it's performing and what it's doing. So even though I'm 50,000 miles of a mixture, daily driving, road trips, back roads running, events, things like that, I could tell you that with my variety and my daily use and my modifications, I'm happy. I'll tell you one thing that hasn't changed: the brake dust. The brake dust is never going to change. You're going to have to change to different pads if you want the brake dust to not be what it is. And I've already talked about that on a video. I said the best modifications for this car. I swapped in probably, I forgot how many miles ago, but I just put in the OEM pads because somebody was getting rid of them and it was a deal. I just threw them in. I will change to something less dusty, actually fairly soon. Probably something from Endless or something like that. But that's what I'm just saying is the brakes are good. If you can deal with the brake dust, they perform exactly as they should, and they do not cost a lot to get pads. You don't need to swap out the rotors unless you did something to damage them. But in 50,000 miles, my rotors are perfectly fine. I don't have to buy new ones. You can buy new ones if you want, but right now mine are fine. But here's what I'm talking about as far as ownership. Gas mileage, things like that, getting tires and maintenance and all those things as an owner, because I did a video talking about how much it costs to maintain a GR Corolla when I had 40,000 miles. And the same holds true. 10,000 miles later, nothing has changed. I've only ever changed a major component, which is tires. That's the most expensive thing I've done in 50,000 miles. It's changed tires. The brake pads have been inexpensive for brake pads and what they are. I can also do the maintenance myself. So take that with an asterisk. If you're not able to maintain or do modifications or perform maintenance on your car, whether it's just because of where you live or your ability to do so, obviously I'm talking from a place of privilege of being able to do it. So I reduce the labor costs that you would normally have to pay for a lot of these things that I've done. But overall though, I have nothing major happen. There's nothing that has been a problem. The regular maintenance hasn't been crazy. The gas mileage is what you expect. It's like 20 to 25 miles per gallon, depending on how you drive, and you can get it lower than that. And it takes 93 octane. So keep that in mind. But that doesn't deter me from an ownership. And I don't think that should deter anybody that's interested in buying a GR Corolla, because you already know what type of car this is. So you don't approach it like it's a Prius. You don't approach it like it's just a standard Corolla. You know that it's a GR Gazoo Racing performance related car. So there are things that are performance related that you're going to have to buy into and you're going to have to purchase, tires and brakes being one of them. So as an owner, I love it. 50,000 miles of bliss. I'm not selling it. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not bored. I don't care about everything else. I've driven Type Rs. I've driven Type Ss. I've driven Elantra Ns. I've driven WRXs. I love this car. That's me. You got to make your own decision on what you love and what is most important to you when it comes to spending your hard-earned money on a vehicle. So the future for me, to wrap this up, the future for me when it comes to this car is more. It's just more. I'm gonna do more to the motor. I'm gonna get some more power. I know they have E85 now, flex fuel. Maybe I go down that route, maybe I don't. Aesthetically, there's a lot of things I still want to do, but I kind of want to make the channel a journey of me building out the car and giving you updates on the ownership part of it. I'm not trying to just slap a bunch of parts on the car and then just be like, oh, I'm bored, I want to sell the car. I mean, that happens all the time. It's not a YouTube car. This ain't no YouTube build channel. That's my own personal car that I pay for, that I've paid for, that I put the parts on, and it ain't going nowhere anytime soon. So don't expect this channel to just up and surprise you being like, look what I got a Type R now. Unless I just somehow my career continues to escalate as it has been, and I just hit a ceiling where I'm like, oh snap, I'm making crazy. Then maybe you'll see another car. But until then, it's the GR Corolla and my wife's Toyota Sienna. We're just a Toyota family. Hey, maybe when the GR Celica comes out, if things are moving how they're moving in life, then hey, maybe, who knows? But there's more that's gonna come, and the car staying on the channel. And like I've said before, I've repeated myself plenty of times, this channel is about the GR Corolla and my podcast on the automotive news. But I wanna be a place where anybody that's interested in the GR Corolla, that wants to buy one, that wants to know information about it, modifications, what the car is like as an owner, as the years go on, as the miles pile on, they can come here and get my feedback. So like I said, 50,000 miles. 50,000. It's running perfect. If you're thinking about getting a GR Corolla, if you're like, oh, I've been on the fence, I don't know. Stop it with that, okay? Stop it. The car's great. It drives great. It performs great. I mean, unless you want 555 horsepower, you're gonna have to get your ducks in order and get your money right, because you're gonna have to do some things to get to that power level. If you want power that's easier from other cars, hey, knock yourself out. Salute. Go ahead and do it. But the way this is, the character, the nuances of the GR Corolla, why some people talk about it and they sometimes can't wrap their finger around what it is about it. There's something about it. It's that old 90s, 2000 era of like Evos and STIs. The glory days of STI. I don't know what's going on now, okay? We ain't gonna talk about it. It just has that feeling. So I embrace it. The next time y'all see me come here and do an update on this car, we're gonna probably be around, I'll do one at 60,000 miles. I got another 10,000 miles to go. And then we're gonna talk about what it's like at that level with this car. But until then, check out my other videos, 2, 9, 15, 30, and 50. I kind of give you the walkthrough of each one, and it's kind of rinse and repeat. Honestly, at this stage, this video is probably the shortest of them all, because outside of me updating you on a modification, which I've already done with my videos of me installing the part, there's nothing more for me to add other than to tell you another 20,000 miles later, this car is still performing like the day I bought it, even better. It's like broken in now. I'll see y'all around the next one. There's other videos coming. There's other mods coming very soon, sometime next week. We're kind of working on some heat management stuff that's coming from a company that I'm working with. And then the podcast, as usual, like and subscribe to it, follow the channel, follow the journey. I'll be back with another one. Peace.